The Dennis Miller Show. Tonight, Governor Jerry Brown. Musical guest Simply Red. Comedian Brian Regan. And now, it's him.
You don't know how much I need that. We were off on vacation last week, and I really start to Jones for that applause halfway through.
Did you miss it?
Yeah, I get very Rupert Pupkin. I take the reel-to-reel down in the tater cellar and start simulating shows.
Little cardboard cutout of Pete Barbuti.
What'd you do?
Man? I went to Vegas. I went with Milady to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some Vegas people here tonight.
What did you see there?
We saw Buddy Hackett, but even more importantly, we saw Wayne Newton. Life-changing experience. I want to tell you something. I've been blessed with the opportunity to see many performers sing MacArthur Park in my life. But Wayne's the first one who made it rain. And I don't think I'll ever be the same.
You know, what's beautiful about Wayne is at the end, you ever see the show? He walks away, he walks up the steps, and there's like this simulated rainfall and laser beams and smoke, and he gets up on this little elevator, and it starts taking him down. You see him backlit, and he's silhouetted, and you see him sinking down into the stage. And just before he goes off stage, he goes... That's the cleanest move I've ever seen in my life.
Frozen in our minds for life now.
Yeah, it was great. I love Wayne Newton show. Goldie, how you doing?
Good, Dennis. How you doing?
Beautiful. I could see we, over the week away, you and I have got that witty banter going.
Yeah.
Goldie, I make you so neurotic, don't I?
No, I'm very cool right now, actually.
Okay. See, Nicky, I feel really cool with you, but Goldie and I...
So you know what it is, Dennis?
Tell me, because I want to work
I've been
it out.
watching... I had a lot of time this week, and I've been watching that other show. You know, that other show. Wait a minute.
Vox Populi.
The anti-Ted Koppel people.
And, you know, if you just... Even if you don't mean it, if you just said you love me once in a while.
A cry for help.
Not going to happen, Goldie. Okay. Hey, did you see Carson's last show? We've been away last week. Was he the coolest, man? Carson is so clean. I really admired what he did. But what's the deal with he and Jay? They never mentioned each other's names. Johnny, come on in, man. Do the show. Give me the dish there. What happened, Dave? They seem tense with each other.
Yeah.
But I thought Carson's last show was great. And Bette Midler, she was killer,
awesome.
Too. All right, what are we doing here? This is our first show after Carson. A week ago, Friday, was Johnny Carson's last Tonight Show. And, I was so flattered when he came out and asked all his loyal viewers to, from now on, tune into my show. And thank you, Johnny. The Bush administration continuing, that's all I had. It's continuing efforts to remove Saddam Hussein from power. Now they're considering sending Ross Perot over to run against him. And, you know, as unbelievable as it may seem, Perot is ahead of Bush and Clinton in the polls in spite of the fact that we know nothing about him. You know, I guess we're treating this campaign like, let's make a deal. We're willing to risk it all for whatever's behind curtain number 3, you know. Nobody really knows. Bush now will go to Rio for the Earth Summit. This is like sending Quayle to a Mensa meeting. Hey, what are you doing here, huh? Oh, when my president needs some votes, he goes to Rio de Janeiro. Kind of amazing, but George Bush has allocated $100 million to save global forests. Let's be sure we cash that check before November 3rd, huh? Hey, California. Thank you. A California company has invented a light bulb. You see this? A light bulb that will last up to 20 years. You know, Quayle hailed the invention, but he said he's waiting for them to invent a light bulb that he can screw in by himself. And Quayle's unbelievable. He said that this week he knew little about the unmarried couple that rents his home in Virginia, but he later admitted that he knew little about anything. See, the musical Guys and Dolls won 4 Tony Awards last night, beating out stiff song and dance competition from the Bush administration. And, of course, it's been a week since the joke didn't work. Gotta get that rust off, okay. No, come on, let's, don't tease me. Results of a nationwide study show that 1 in every 5 high school students carries a weapon. Do you believe that? Yeah, the rest keep one in their lockers. It's, Philadelphia, a 79-year-old woman was attacked by a mugger. She chased him down. He offered to give her back her purse. She refused, and she beat him up. He had to get stitches. 79 years old. I've fallen, and I'm going to get up and beat your ass, buddy. And finally... And finally, Northwest Airlines' new Adults Fly Free with a Child promotion has proven to be pretty popular, especially with Cher, because now she and her boyfriend can travel for one low price. Yeah. We've got a great show for you tonight. Jerry Brown is here, and Simply Red is here. Comedian Brian Regan. Thank you. Goldie. Bye-bye.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Dawn Dishwashing Liquid. It takes grease out of your way.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Mary Brown. All right. Welcome back. You know, folks, right now the airlines are locked in a vicious price war, and travelers across America are clamoring for bargain flights. But with so many people flying, the skies can quickly turn unfriendly. And so tonight we examine the case for and the case against airline price wars. The case for airline price wars: at these prices, everyone can fly. Case against: the first-timer seated next to you feels stuffy and tries to pry open the window. Case 4, cheaper fares make the lack of legroom more tolerable. Against: the new stowaway rate books people to lie on top of your feet. Case 4, cheap fares allow middle-income American families to fly. Against: flying cross-country at 35,000 feet and listening to 1,000 bottles of beer on the wall for the 3rd time. Case 4, the low fares make travel affordable for practically everyone. Against: there goes your best excuse for not going to Cousin Frida's wedding in Skokie. You patronizing bastard. Skokie. Oh, Nick, the brute gun. Okay, go ahead. Did you brute me? You must have missed. I didn't feel it. All right. You mean to tell me the brute went through my shoulder into Governor Conley's wrist? The case for, of course, by Governor Conley, I mean the delightful Jennifer Conley. The case for, you can take your kids with you to Vegas. Against, your daughter takes a job with Jeff Kutash's Splash. Case for, the rock bottom fares guarantee everybody a seat on the plane. Against, bring a sweater. It's cold in the cargo bay. Case for, these fares are available to anybody. Against, which means your flight is going to be as crowded as the bathroom at Chuck's Chili and Prune Hut.
How enticing.
Don't even like the image. Do not even like the image it conjures. And finally, the case for Airline Price Wars. Busy schedules mean more work for veteran aviators. Against, nice to see Captain Bill flying again. This time, I think he's really licked the sauce. And that's the case for and against cheap airline rates. Thank you for bordering on approval. You know, California voters are about to decide who wins the state's Democratic primary. My first guest is the former California Secretary of State and two-term governor. Please welcome Edmund G. Brown Jr., better known as Jerry Brown. Jerry. Thank you.
Calm down, Jerry. Calm down.
Wow. Got very Day of the Locust there for a second.
Did you read that book?
No, sorry.
Day of the Locust. I didn't either, so no. Hey, you don't
Governor
don't
Penthouse.
show him that.
Huh? No, mad as hell. Delightful layout. You look like a winner.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it just came out today, I guess.
The last guy on there was last week was a fighter, I think.
Yeah, they're now putting regular people on here because they want to be able to display it more openly on the newsstands. But I have to ask you.
They want to sell in Arkansas, right?
Everybody subscribes in Arkansas. Now, I have to ask you from afar, I obviously don't know you personally, but you seem like such a bright man to me. I know in the past in your life you've actually gone and worked with Mother Teresa at this mission. I find it unbelievable that you would want to immerse yourself in what has become almost a demeaning process, the quest for the American presidency. What do you think, what's the reason? Why do you want to be president?
Because things are stuck and no one's doing anything about it. And I just happened to fall into the fact that my father was a governor. I know how to do it. I got elected governor myself. I did it for 8 years. And when you look around and you see that democracy is supposed to be about something where people control their destiny, the environment, their government. And instead you have this gong show of wealthy people buying politicians like puppets. And it doesn't have to be that way. So knowing how to work the process, I've jumped into it and am telling what I like to say, speaking truth to power. And hey, we're up against a lot of hierarchy, a lot of power, and a lot of plain baloney. But it's working. There's a lot of people who've joined in, and I think a lot of people watching this show know in their hearts that there's something wrong back there. And we're asking people to join us and try to turn it around.
Isn't it funny, though, that there's almost but you know, it's ironic in this country, though, that it's almost like Groucho's old statement about I don't want to be in any club that would have me a member. It's almost like as soon as somebody runs for the presidency, that aspiration used to signal to the American people that the guy was of a special breed of man. And it almost seems like now people think, oh, if he wants to run for president, what's his angle? It's weird that it's degenerated to that, right?
You got to have a certain amount of ambition. You're not going to put up with this stuff. I mean, day after day with all the silly questions. And I mean, what's happening is the entertainment, the triviality, is moving aside the real questions. And you hear endless amounts of language and images and TV commercials, candidates running against themselves. And so you got to have a lot of desire to get through all that.
Because it's madness who blew dope in your house 10 years. You know, it's amazing to me that it just, that the press...
But it's part of I think it's part of I don't say it's a conspiracy, but there's an unconscious immune system that protects the powers that be, the wealthy elite that can run the country by trivializing politics, by infantilizing the electorate, and not allowing real issues to be presented in a way that people can feel it and engage and respond. I mean, just like South Central LA, people are talking about what do we do. I mean, it's hard to remember that in World War II, people in Southern California could make a battleship in 90 days. Now, you can't tell me that rebuilding a 7-Eleven store is more complicated than a battleship. But they're not going to finish in 90 days. They could rebuild every single store burnt down. They could hire the people who live in the neighborhood, and they could get the people who own the stores with loans. Well, just like we gave to Egypt, $7 billion loan forgiveness. You could give like a 1 or 2% loan to the people who own the stores, have the people in the neighborhood help build it, and maybe get Schwarzkopf out of retirement to make it all happen in 90 or 120 days, and you can make it happen. And why doesn't it happen? Because the whole system is just stuck on talk, on evasion, on trivialization, and evasion. That's why I run here, to keep pointing and pushing the truth in their face until finally we get it.
Yeah, well, when we come back, I want to talk about why somebody who has such a pragmatic approach, and to me you seem like the very antithesis of a mystic, has been painted now, in this country at least, as sort of the mystical candidate.
They've also said I was the political equivalent of a drive-by shooting. So don't believe everything they said. That was Time Magazine that said that.
We'll talk more with Jerry Brown right after this, folks. Back with Jerry Brown. Now, as someone who seemingly sees through the political hokum in this country like you, Neutrogena, I can't believe you still are affiliated with the Democratic Party. Why aren't you just a free agent with just your upbringing?
The Democratic Party is so unorganized, you are a free agent in fact. It's been around for 200 years. It's gone through all sorts of transformations. In the 20s, it was more conservative than the Republican Party. And with Roosevelt, it went more radical. Right now, it appears, at least in the Clinton version, to be going pretty conservative.
At some point, to me, you're almost like the battalion in Glory that has to be the first one to storm the fort, and you know your odds of getting politically shot are pretty high. You're pretty close to, Clinton's pretty close to having what he needs right now.
Well, yeah, he is and he isn't. You know, you've got, I'm close to 600 delegates, I think, after tomorrow. Tsongas has 500 or so. There's 700 or 800 that are uncommitted. You go back there in July, and people look around, and if that survey the other day of 26 states, which showed Clinton only having one state, Arkansas, I believe people are going to get into that convention and say, wait a minute here, what do we really want? At that point, the whole thing could start to unravel and the convention could open up.
So this isn't some selfless, kamikaze run here. You still believe you have a chance?
Well, look, it's difficult. I wouldn't want to say anything other than that, but I know this, that you can't change things the way they are just by a little bit of rhetoric. You need a lot of political organization. You need a lot of involvement to overcome what has been a decrepit process for 20 years. I mean, after Kennedy got shot, after Johnson took us into Vietnam, this thing's been going down, down, down. And you look at something like, say, the LA riots, and the mayors say we need $35 billion for the cities. The Congress, even before Bush gets involved, says, well, we'll give you $1 billion. $1 billion, compare that with 12 years ago, the job employment program was spending about 13 times that much just on hiring people who are now unemployed. So today we're talking about crumbs, chump change. When you compare it to when Reagan said, hey, the Russians are a problem, let's go out and spend $1 trillion over 12 years. That was a serious response. You've got cities that are falling apart. You've got millions of families that are living in subhuman conditions. That's a crisis. And you can't address it with with pleas to Murphy Brown and Quayle and a little bit of welfare reform. Yeah, that is little bitsy stuff. You need big dreams, big themes. This is like World War II. You got to take it back, block by block. And I say take it back with jobs and health care and decent schools. And this crazy thing is, we got the
we
money.
don't have much
We
time.
just don't have the political
You
will.
say the curve's going down, and I view it almost like an alcoholic, though. They have to hit rock bottom before the change actually occurs. What do you foresee as the potential rock bottom of this
Well,
country?
the trouble with the rock bottom is that as you drive people to the bottom and they find out they can make money selling guns and dope, you get more crime, you get more fear, you get more police, and you get more of an authoritarian state, and you get less civil liberties. That's where we're headed. And the only way to turn it around is not with more prisons, and not with more wiretapping, and not with more urine tests, but with more jobs and more education and more health care. That's what you got to do. And somehow they don't get it yet. They really don't get it. And what's so amazing, when it's their own pay raise, when it's S&L bailout, when it's foreign aid, they always come up with the money. When it's something for kids, when it's something for the environment, when it's something for something interesting and creative, they say, well, we got a budget deficit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a real a lack of engaging the truth of where we are in this country. And when we engage that truth, we'll be free to do something about it.
Now, what as a pragmatist, what's your feeling on the space program? I'm befuddled by this.
Well,
do you believe in it,
Yeah.
or you
Well,
do?
I mean, you can have, I'm not going to try to second guess some immediate programs, but I believe the human mind has no limits to what we can invent, and exploring space is just like new technology, it's art.
Should we not
it's
tidy
imagination.
up the place we launch from,
Yeah.
though? I mean, is that not priority one?
Well,
It's just...
When I ran once before for president, I said we ought to protect the earth, explore the universe, and serve people. Serve, protect, and explore. Those are all basic human needs. You can't limit us. We're going to explore space. And even to say that, I know people say, well, there's Brown, the space cadet. Well, the fact is that to reach out is to expand the whole concept we have of ourselves. And if we're going to rise above being Croatians or Serbians or African Americans or Anglo-Americans, you have to see who we are. And who we are is this rather small family in a very small speck called the Earth in the midst of this unimaginable universe. And the more we can get a sense of that, and I think the space program gives it to us, the more we're going to start living like a family instead of this crazy situation where we spend $500 billion a year on armaments while you've got 1 billion people starving. So I think the space program can not only advance science, but it can also expand the human understanding that we're all part of one family right here on this planet.
Well, I admire your gumption. I wish we had more time. I don't know that you will actually win, but in your own way, I think you're winning, because I really think you seem to me to be the first one who's just come out and slammed the whole system, and it almost seems like that's what we have to... It's not working.
And I want to just say, I'm not going away. I know that I've had the former president and the head of my party, they'll say, quiet. I'm not going to be silenced, and we're not going away. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, until we really get this country back on the right track. And anybody who agrees with that, I want them to call. Now we give you the 800 number, which keeps this thing going. It's 1-800-426-1112. 1-800-426-1112. You call, you join,
Wait,
you
that's
pledge.
my number.
And we're not going away.
Thank you, Jerry. We'll be right back. Simply Red, right after this. Thank you, sir.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. All I can tell you about Brown up close was he didn't try to avert my stare. Sometimes you have people out here who won't even look at you. At least he looked right in my eyes, and as a matter of fact, he now controls me. Look what he did to this spoon. He's crazy. All right, this Manchester, England group led by Mick Hucknall has sold more than 22 million albums since debuting in 1985. Here with their fourth album, Stars, performing Something Got Me Started, is Simply Red, folks. Hucknall.
Yes, thank you.
What are we going to do? We going to take a break, or we'll be right back? We'll talk to Mick right after this. We're back. Mr. Hucknall. How you doing, Mick? I saw you out at the amphitheater 2 Fridays back. Great show. You're how long are you touring for here? What do you?
Well, I'm going to be out until February next year, I think. You know, we do like 2 months on, a couple of weeks off, 2 months on.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling around, hanging out.
Are you immersed in America right now, or is it a world tour, or are you going to be mostly here?
No, we're going back to Europe to do these stadium shows, and then we come back to the States later on in the year.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Japan and Australia and all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Been around the world 3 times now.
Yeah? How's it looking?
Great. Yes, you know, on a world view, we're not doing too bad.
Not bad for a boy from Manchester. Isn't that a bit of a proletariat hub? Manchester, sort of a working class town, isn't it?
Well, you know, it used to be 100 years ago, it was all steam chimneys and factories and L.S. Lowry, and it's kind of changed over the years. It's
L.S.
quite clean
Lowry,
now.
what is that?
L.S. Lowry is this naive painter who used to paint all the workers going to work.
Oh, I
kind of, very kind of...
I thought it was like
northern
Lowry's
working
Season
class.
Salt or something. That's where they made it.
Before the Beatles, we weren't really known for anything except just workers, you know.
Uh-huh. You still have a place there, though, right?
Yeah,
Your dad still lives there?
I have a place there, and I have a place in Italy.
Milan. Now, that's your artsy side, right? You got your stay close to your roots with your dad, and then you
no,
got your
that's
place.
my life side. If I want to go and live, you know, that's where I go to live. I like to live.
Now, you're in America during an interesting time. We had Jerry Brown. Are you a political creature at all?
Yeah, very much. I follow world affairs quite interestingly. And
if you were voting here, who would you vote for?
Well, I'm very interested in what a lot of things that Perot is saying. It just seems to be. No,
I can't boo Perot.
I know there might be a lot of Jerry Brown things. He says a lot of interesting things. I mean, it's obvious that there's time for some kind of change here, some kind of reforms. We have a very similar situation in England, really. Is that I think we went a little bit far down to the right. You know, we neglected a whole section of the working people, and we're paying the price now. And we just need a little bit more time, and somebody who's going to change things like Perot. It could well happen.
I'm always amazed, I'm always amazed that even the most common sense Englanders I meet are fans of the royal family. Do you believe that should still exist? They seem to have so much money in that, and I see such poverty sometimes when I'm in England.
I think that the money's the issue. You can see the royal family very much as like an investment for the country. A lot of people come to see them. A lot of people pay attention to them. Mm-hmm. The real problem is, I think, in England is the way in which the press can just seem to show so much disrespect for them. You know, is their marriage over? Isn't it? It's just they go
like
a little bit too
opera.
far. You know,
yeah.
They pry a little bit too far, and I think that's quite sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, where are you going from here? Where can we see you next? Where can America see you next?
Well, I'm going to go home for a couple of weeks.
And we can see him there?
Gigs in the States.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I'm going up to Canada tomorrow for 3 dates, and then we'll go back down to Boston and then New York City.
All right.
And then I'll celebrate my birthday in New York City and party, and then I'll go home.
Okay, well, nice. Thanks for stopping in.
All right.
Mick Hucknall, Simply Red. We'll be right back with Brian Regan right after this, folks. Welcome back, folks. And by the way, Simply Red will be back later in the show singing For Your Babies. My next guest is a comedian who is the host of Short Attention Span Theater on Comedy Central. Please welcome Brian Regan, folks. Brian.
Thank you. How you feeling, folks? Hey, I want to apologize if I seem a little frazzled. I was in O'Hare Airport this morning. Ever been in that airport? Everybody's running in that airport. You just show up and they go, run! I'm here to pick up a bag. Run! I'm running! It's like a hub, you know? They give everybody like a 2-minute layover. You get off on gate 2, you got to go to gate 90, you got a minute. Go! Run, kids, run! We're running! So I'm sitting on the plane, you know? Sit on the plane, and that little plastic thing above you that blows cold air on you for no apparent reason. What the hell is that? Mine wouldn't turn off, so my left eyebrow blow dried the whole flight. Hey, this is nice. What the hell is this? You have a light when you're flying, too. It's a nice light. It shines a beam of light this big around. If you do read, you have to read your book like this. This is a nice flight. I'm enjoying this. And on the plane I'm on, they got, those little phones stuck in the seats right in front of you, so everybody around you can hear your phone conversations. And everybody around me has, like, this important stuff, hey, set up that meeting with the Senate, Harry. Tell the ambassador I'll try to squeeze him in before the foreign minister. I'm like, honey, I think I left the crock pot on. And they tell you, like, if you have your own telephone, not to use it because it might interfere with, like, communications from the tower. What the hell's that all about? And I hate to think, like, my little phone is going to mess up, the whole thing from the tower. They were trying to get in touch with the captain, and my phone rings. I was like, hello? No, this isn't Alpha Niner Niner. This is Brian. Got any news about the crock pot? You know what I hate? When you get on the plane, flight attendants always demand that they look at your boarding card, and then they'll look at it and tell you that your seat's down that way. Oh, they're all down that way. I'd be surprised when, you're over here. You're the captain. We've been looking for you. Where the hell were you? Get in the cockpit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm the captain. I'm sorry. I hate walking past the first class people anyway. They always get to go on whenever they want. That always kind of bug me, First class people board at your leisure. Take your time, first class people. Mwah, mwah. Coach people, no, wait, sit, scum, sit. Wait, little piggies. Oh, we have to wait. So when you do get on to first class people, they're already sitting there, they're all sprawled out in their big thrones, Bring me the head of a pig. Whatever the hell they do up there. Whenever I walk by them, they're always working, and they want me to know that. They got, like, graphs out and calculators on their tables. They're looking at me like, hey, we're making money right now. Right now we're making money. Go, get in the back, go. Ugh. Go through the curtain. Ugh. Ugh. Right? You go in the back, everybody has coloring books on. People picking their teeth. Hey, come here, where was you? Sit in between us. It's gonna be like 9 of us right here. Yeah, we're all gonna sit like this. You enjoying the flight? You like the flight? You can't even get like a full can of Coke in the back, Can I have some Coke? They give you a little cup and they fill it with ice, a little splasher. Oh, thank you. I don't know. I feel like I'm Oliver, Please, sir, I want some more. More? You want more? You're not even allowed to use the bathrooms up front. What the hell is that all about, The bathrooms up front are for the first class passengers. The coach bathrooms are located at Newark Airport, Concourse C. Well, that's it for me. Thank you all very much.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by MasterCard. Master the moment with a card that's accepted at nearly 10 million places worldwide.
Welcome back, folks. All right, I want to thank Brian Regan. He will be performing with Jerry Seinfeld at the Tampa Bay Performing Arts Center June 3rd and at the Orpheum Theater in Minneapolis on June 4th and at Caligula's June 5th. And just wanted to see if anybody was even listening. Nobody was. Thanks to Jerry Brown, Brian Regan here to perform For Your Babies. Simply Red, folks. Good night, teenagers.
You got that look again, the one I hoped I had when I was a lad. Your face is just beaming, your smile got me boasting my pulse roller coastering. Anyway, the four winds that blow, they're gonna send me sailing home to you. Or I'll fly with the force of a rainbow. A dream of gold will be waiting in your eyes. No, I'd do most anything you want. Hey, I try to give you everything you need. I can see that it gets to you. I don't believe in many things, but in you I do. Her faith is amazing. The pain that she goes through, contained in the hope for you. Your whole world has changed. The years spent before seem more cloudy than blue. In many ways, your baby's controlling when you haven't laid down for days. For the poor, no time to be thinking. They're too busy finding ways, and you know I'd do most anything you want.
When in Los Angeles, guests of the Dennis Miller Show stay at the St. James Club and Hotel.